With the first pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Trevor Lawrence, quarterback, Clemson.
Guys like Trevor Lawrence, they simply don't come around very often. It's the highest grade I've put on a quarterback going back to Andrew Luck.
Lawrence has had some good stretches for Jacksonville, but he and the Jags have just one playoff appearance in what has been a weak division. You would have expected more from a player labeled as a generational talent.
With the second pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Zach Wilson, quarterback, BYU.
New York is going to fall in love with this kid. He's special off platform. He's very loose, natural thrower, all those arm angles.
Wilson's career started poorly and never got much better. His best season might have been 2023 when he was pressed into duty after Aaron Rodgers' Achilles injury in Week 1. He's now on his third team after signing with the Miami Dolphins in the offseason.
With the third pick, the San Francisco 49ers select Trey Lance, quarterback, North Dakota State.
I believe there is a huge upside with this guy. Now, got some work to do, got some things to clean up. We got to remember, most of the tape we saw from him was 2 years ago, only playing one game last year, but there is so much to like.
Lance was always considered a project. He opened his second NFL season as San Francisco's starter, but suffered an ankle injury in Week 2 and never played for the team again. A trade to the Cowboys didn't offer any new opportunities. Currently a free agent, we'll see if Lance gets another shot.
With the fourth pick, the Atlanta Falcons select Kyle Pitts, tight end, Florida.
This is a unique player. It's the highest grade I've ever given to a tight end.
Pitts was thought to be another one-of-a-kind talent. After posting 1,000 yards as a rookie, it looked like he might reach his impossibly high expectations. 3 seasons later, that first campaign seems to be more of an outlier.
With the fifth pick, the Cincinnati Bengals select Jamar Chase, wide receiver, LSU.
And now this is a true number one wideout in Jamar Chase. They're going to be able to get guys out, and Joe Burrow can get the ball out of his hand.
Chase reunited with LSU teammate Joe Burrow in Cincy and immediately took off with 1,400 yards and 13 touchdowns. He's topped 1,000 yards in each of his 4 NFL seasons, including an eye-popping 1,708 yards and 17 scores in 2024.
With the sixth pick, the Miami Dolphins select Jaylen Waddle, wide receiver, Alabama.
The receiver's got 3 jobs. Number 1, change field position. Number 2, score points. And number 3, get people out of their seats. This guy's going to do all 3, and he's going to do them very, very quickly.
Waddle doesn't have the video game numbers of Jamar Chase, but he had more than 70 catches and 1,000 yards in his first 3 seasons, while giving the Dolphins a solid 1-2 punch at receiver alongside Tyreek Hill.
The Detroit Lions select Penei Sewell, tackle, Oregon.
Brad Holmes makes his first pick as general manager of the Detroit Lions and decides to get somebody to help protect his quarterback he's familiar with, who he helped draft there with the Rams. So Jared Goff gets a new opportunity and gets a new helper up front.
Sewell has been a starter and a star ever since he put on a Lions uniform. Sewell has a pair of all-pro selections and anchors the offensive line of one of the NFL's most dynamic offenses.
With the eighth pick, the Carolina Panthers select Jaycee Horn, defensive back, South Carolina.
Ultra twitched up with Jaycee Horn. He talks a lot on the field, very chippy, very competitive, and he's got outstanding instincts.
When Horn has been on the field for the Panthers, he's played well. The problem is that he's missed a combined 31 games in his 4 NFL seasons. Still, Carolina thought enough of his play that it made him the highest paid defensive back in league history this offseason.
With the ninth pick, the Denver Broncos select Pat Surtain Jr., defensive back, Alabama.
In a year where there's a lot of uncertainty, that's about as certain as it gets in this draft.
This is one PS2 that opposing receivers would rather not play. Denver's lockdown corner already has 3 Pro Bowl appearances, a pair of All-Pro selections, and was named the 2024 Defensive Player of the Year.
The Dallas Cowboys have traded the 10th pick to the Philadelphia Eagles. With the 10th pick, the Philadelphia Eagles select DeVonta Smith, wide receiver, Alabama.
He's the best route runner in this year's draft. There might be receivers that are rated higher than him, but nobody creates separation like he does, which is going to create some easy throws for his former and new teammate in Jalen Hurts.
Amazingly, the 2020 Heisman Trophy winner fell to the 10th spot. The Eagles are grateful for it. Beginning in 2022, Smith and A.J. Brown have been a dynamic receiving duo for Jalen Hurts, helping lead the Birds to a Super Bowl title at the end of the 2024 season.
With the 11th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, my Chicago Bears select Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State.
But the NFL player comp that I have presented by Jeep, for him, Dak Prescott. Look at the body, look at the arm, the ability to move around, extend plays, and make plays.
Fields has been full of potential throughout his career, but in reality, he's been more valuable to fantasy football managers than actual NFL teams. He'll have another chance to reach his ceiling after signing with the New York Jets, his third team in 5 professional seasons.
And with the 12th pick in the 2021 the NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Micah Parsons, linebacker, Penn State.
He can run and cover all day long. Running backs and tight ends is not an issue. You can line him up anywhere you want. Dan Quinn's going to have fun with him as a chess piece. And he's a dynamic blitzer. I'm not convinced you couldn't just line him up and let him rush the quarterback. He might be a double-digit sack guy. He's that good coming off the edge.
Parsons was an immediate impact player for Dallas, winning Defensive Rookie of the Year honors. In his 4 NFL seasons, Parsons has averaged 13 sacks on his way to a pair of All-Pro selections and 4 Pro Bowl appearances.
With the 13th pick, the Los Angeles Chargers select Rashawn Slater Jr., tackle, Northwestern.
You've added an extremely impressive player in Rashawn Slater out of Northwestern, who in his battle against Chase Young, when you go back and watch that tape, that put him on the map with evaluators. He held up very well against one of the best National Football League has to offer.
With so much talent at the tackle position across the league, Slater doesn't get showered with a ton of accolades. Nonetheless, he's been a consistent piece on the Chargers' offensive line and will likely get a healthy contract extension soon.
The Minnesota Vikings have traded the 14th pick to the New York Jets. New York Jets select Alijah Vera-Tucker, guard, USC.
He's consistent all day long and has got tremendous anchor inside.
Injuries have been a big part of AVT's story. The former Trojan standout missed a combined 22 games in 2022 and 2023. When healthy, he's been a solid contributor for Gang Green.
With the 15th pick, the 6-time world champion New England Patriots select Mac Jones.
It's all about accuracy, touch, and timing. You're hoping he's going to turn into Matt Ryan. That's what the hope is when you draft him if you're Bill Belichick.
Jones was supposed to be the answer to New England's post-Tom Brady quarterback search. After a rookie season that showed some promise, the former Alabama star regressed and was eventually traded to Jacksonville. After 1 season with the Jags, Jones will spend 2025 as Brock Purdy's backup in San Francisco.
With the 16th pick, the Arizona Cardinals select Zaven Collins, linebacker, Tulsa.
This is a jumbo athlete who does some rare things when you watch him in coverage. Some people have compared him. They see a little bit of Urlacher when you talk to some of the older scouts. I saw a little bit of Anthony Barr because of the versatility.
The Cardinals have tried Collins in several spots across the defense, each time with middling results. He signed a 2-year extension before the 2024 season, then produced a career-high 5 sacks after a move to outside linebacker.
With the 17th pick, the Las Vegas Raiders select Alex Leatherwood, tackle, Alabama.
And it's a little bit of it's interesting pick because you talk to people around the league, they're all over the map on Alex Leatherwood. Some really like him, some struggle with him.
The Raiders cut Leatherwood after 1 dismal season. He was picked up by the Bears and played 4 games for Chicago in 2022. Since then, Leatherwood has been on a couple of teams' practice squads, but hasn't taken another NFL snap.
With the 18th pick, the Miami Dolphins select Jaelan Phillips, defensive end, Miami.
He's the most talented edge rusher. He's very loose and flexible. He can bend at the top of his rush. I compared him to Montez Sweat because you remember Montez Sweat, there was some questions about health. Jaelan Phillips has had some health issues that teams had to get comfortable with.
Phillips' career started well enough with 15.5 combined sacks in his first 2 NFL campaigns. The last 2 seasons, however, have been marked by injury, including a torn ACL that limited him to just 4 games in 2024.
With the 19th pick, the Washington football team selects Jamin Davis, linebacker, Kentucky.
I saw Darius Leonard when I popped on his tape. He's tall, he's long, he's a little bit skinny.
Davis spent 3 unremarkable seasons with Washington before going on an odyssey across the league. He was signed and released from the Packers practice squad before playing 4 games for the Vikings in 2024. After being claimed off waivers by the Jets, Davis hopes to make an impact for Aaron Glenn's defense in 2025.
With the 20th pick, the New York Giants select Kadarius Toney, wide receiver, Florida.
One of more dynamic players in the entire draft. He's built like a running back, and he's got running back skills when the ball is in his hands. The only concern was he had some drops at the Senior Bowl. That concerned some people.
Miss. Toney was a talented player coming out of college. He was also his own worst enemy. Repeated missteps on and off the field made him an unreliable option for the Giants and later the Chiefs. In 2024, Toney was released after 3 games with the Browns. At this point, it's hard to imagine any other teams taking a chance on him.
With the 21st pick in the Indianapolis Colts select Kwity Paye, defensive end, Michigan.
I think he's going to benefit from staying in one spot on the edge. Reminded me of another Michigan man in Frank Clark when he was coming out of school.
Paye has been a serviceable pass rusher in his 4 NFL seasons. He hit a high watermark with 8.5 sacks in 2023, playing outside of the space-eating DeForest Buckner. With the Colts picking up Paye's 5th-year option, he'll have another chance to continue his growth in 2025.
With the 22nd pick, the Tennessee Titans select Caleb Farley, defensive back, Virginia Tech.
Miss. Farley has been the victim of terrible injury luck in his career. He played a total of 12 games in 2 seasons with the Titans, ending up on injured reserve both years. Farley then missed all of 2023 with a back injury. In 2024, he signed with the Panthers and played a reserve role in the secondary. Currently, Farley is a free agent hoping for another NFL opportunity.
With the 23rd pick, the Minnesota Vikings select Christian Darrisaw, tackle, Virginia Tech.
Christian Darrisaw is a pure left tackle. He can latch and control. He doesn't have outstanding foot quickness, but he's always in position, takes very good angles in the run game when you study him.
Darrisaw has been one of the league's highest-rated tackles since he landed in Minnesota. But if a player's value can be measured by what happens when he's not there, the Vikings learned how important Darrisaw was when they were forced to replace him after a torn ACL midway through the 2024 season.
With the 24th pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Najee Harris, running back, Alabama.
I mean, Steelers fans have absolutely got to be out of their skull excited.
Harris was rarely spectacular for the Steelers, but he was always very steady. As a consistent runner and adequate pass catcher, Harris posted more than 1,200 scrimmage yards in all 4 seasons in Pittsburgh. In 2025, he'll take his act to the West Coast after signing a free agent deal with the Los Angeles Chargers.
With the 25th pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Travis Etienne, running back, Clemson.
But this is somebody that's a complete back. He was my top back in this year's draft class. I thought he was a great fit for an outside zone team because of his ability to just put his foot in the ground and go.
A foot injury cost Etienne all of his rookie season. He rebounded well the next 2 years, including nearly 1,500 scrimmage yards and 12 total touchdowns in 2023. However, Etienne took a major step back in 2024 with fewer than 900 total yards while losing touches to Tank Bigsby.
With the 26th pick for the 2021 NFL Draft for the Cleveland Browns, we have Gregory Newsome II.
He's tough. He tackles well. I think he's going to fit the personality of the Cleveland Browns so well. Greg Newsome's a heck of a player. He's very smart, and they're going to love him here in Cleveland.
Newsome never lived up to the hype, but was a serviceable corner in his first 2 seasons. By 2024, however, he regressed to the point where he was stripped of his starting job just a couple games into the year.
With the 27th pick, the Baltimore Ravens select Rashod Bateman, wide receiver, Minnesota.
Baltimore hoped Bateman could be the playmaking wide receiver that has eluded the franchise during Lamar Jackson's tenure at quarterback. While Bateman posted career best numbers in 2024, there's no doubt that he's been surpassed by Zay Flowers as the Ravens wide receiver 1.
With the 28th pick, the New Orleans Saints select Payton Turner, defensive end, Houston.
Turner has appeared in just 31 games without a start in 4 NFL seasons, 16 of those coming in 2024. After hitting free agency, he agreed to a 1-year deal with the Dallas Cowboys.
With the 29th pick, the Green Bay Packers select Eric Stokes, defensive back, Georgia.
Stokes' career in Green Bay started well enough with 14 starts as a rookie, but injuries limited him to just 12 games over the next 2 seasons. He was able to stay healthy in 2024, but didn't produce much on the field. This season, he'll see if he can roll 7s with the Raiders in Las Vegas.
With the 30th pick, the Buffalo Bills select Gregory Rousseau, Defensive end, Miami.
Hit. Rousseau has been a consistent source of quarterback pressure from the edge. He posted his best all-around season in 2024 with 8 sacks and 53 combined tackles. That was enough for the Bills to give him a 4-year, $80 million contract extension.
The Baltimore Ravens select Jaycee Horn, linebacker, Penn State.
Oweh's first 3 seasons were rather unremarkable. He struggled to consistently break into the starting lineup. He finally had a breakout campaign in 2024 with a career-high 10 sacks. He'll try to build on that in 2025 after the Ravens picked up his 5th-year option.
With the 32nd pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Joe Tryon, linebacker, Washington.
Tryon-Shoyinka spent 4 average seasons with the Bucs, topping out in 2023 with 5 sacks and 45 combined tackles. In 2025, he'll try to make a fresh start in Cleveland after signing a 1-year deal in free agency.